Hello, and welcome to another game of Dota 2. This is just a few minutes after the last one, trying to smash out a few in a row with some breaks in the middle. As a result, and with Dota 2 Pro Tracker isn't in its top state at the moment. It's a bit bugged on my PC for some reason. Not entirely sure who's in this game, but it's in a model one. Let's have a look. Seems like, yeah, we got S4 and that guy at the bottom and somebody from Empire. Who I can't see, but he's from Empire. Whatever. Let's have a look at the draft quickly. I don't get to see the drafting phase in this, so I only get to make up a bunch of nonsense in the the first minute or two. For the Radiant, we have it looks like a Batrider mid, which is against a Kunkka. I don't know who wins that. I've not seen it before. So yeah, that's all I have to say on that one. Kunkka is pretty tanky, but Batrider does a lot of damage with sticky. Will make the getting really nice Tidebringers off a bit of a pain, I'd imagine. I don't really know. We should, however, have pretty solid kill potential on the side lanes, especially with the early lasso. Meanwhile, top lane, we've got Spectre, Darkseer. Really? Against Doom, Rubik. I've never seen Darkseer as a 5 before. Which is interesting. Let's free camera and have a look at the top quickly, because it looks like something's happening. Is it? Yeah, that definitely looks like support inventory. He's just sort of whacking boys. He is indeed just whacking boys. Interesting. Interesting. I've not seen it before, so I don't see how it works myself. This feels like a really weak lane. I guess Iron Shell and Spectre could be nice, but I don't know. I guess Iron Shell's nice for harass, but it seems awkward, honestly. Meanwhile, Doom Rubik is a pretty standard combo. You got just a lot of damage, and it's pretty quick. Kind of hard to kill. The Doom is pretty hard to kill, so Rubik is good at trading with Fade Ball. I guess I'll watch that lane more towards the bottom. But just to quickly address the offlane, we have Earth Spirit Clockwork, which is quite a nice kill lane, kill potential. You have slow and battery assault. You have and the stun as well on Boulder. It's just nice. There's a lot of damage, even as early as level 2. On these two, and that it's especially nice for someone like Void, because it's really hard for him to deal with, to choose what to do. Who got the kill there? Buyback on the Kunkka. Did he X himself? No, he TP'd. I'm completely insane. Wait. No, he must have. No, he doesn't have X. It seems like they traded who got first blood. Batrider did. Which is absolutely worth it for the Batrider. Batrider, as I understand it, likes to sort of tactically trade out his life. And that definitely goes well. He forced a buyback on the Kunkka. He got first blood. Yeah, big trade. Big win for the Batrider there. Meanwhile, down bottom, who's the core in this thing? Oh, Earthspirit's the core. I didn't realise that. Thought Clockwork would be. In which case, no, that kind of makes sense. More damage on the Earthspirit earlier, yeah, okay. Yeah, so that'll give the Earthspirit more farm to sort of play the mid game with, and also allow him to get a few more levels quicker, which he gets more levels out of his damage, more damage out of his levels than Clockwork does. Certainly for the first few. Meanwhile, Enchantress Void is a nice defensive combo. Void is a pain to kill with his Time Walk, and has some kill threat with Time Lock. With the slow from Enchant, he has more kill threat, and Enchantress just applies a lot of lane pressure naturally. So it seems like he will take an extended trade. Clockwork will be slowed down and will almost certainly die here. Quick Fairy Fire might just keep him alive, but doesn't. Gets Time Lock proc and will bring him down. Meanwhile, now to purely satisfy my own curiosity, what is this Darkseer doing? Spectre getting absolutely beaten on 2v1, Darkseer being slightly out of position. As in, you know, anywhere that isn't within about scratching distance of the Spectre. So Spectre just gets wailed on, but has some regen. Darkseer already out of mana. doesn't... Let's have a look at... I don't have the last it's open. It looks like everyone's doing alright except for Earth Spirit, who's getting dogged. I am curious as to what the objective of the Darkseer is. Is he trying to pull? It looks like he is. Might... No, he won't get it. Trying to pull with... I don't understand it, actually. I guess he has speed to try and pull the side camps, and Ion Shell is good. However, I don't see it, because you normally need a few levels on Darkseer, and he's not getting them with how he's playing, because he's playing away from the wave and giving XP to Spectre, which seems odd to me. Hopefully it sort of comes together in the mid game, but I'm not sure. I don't see the logic myself in this, and it does seem to be bearing through, with Doom really dominating Spectre in terms of CS, almost doubling up the Spectre already. And I imagine Spectre has had to clear out a fair amount of regen. Meanwhile, dive behind the mid tower, 5 sets of stickies brought up. Batrider might... Ooh, boy. Survives on about 3 HP there. Might actually go down to the range creep. Will probably kill this wave and then suicide. Oh! Rocket flare. Is that... What level is that? Level 1 rocket flare. That's a whole 80 damage. Killing that bat. I don't think he saw that one coming. Still a victory for the bat, though, for sure. I don't think anyone I don't know if Clock gets XP from that. I need to check that if you get XP from kill things. I don't think he does, though, which means, yeah, he gets the bounty. But now, oh look, Batrider's back and he has full HP and mana, and Kunkka got nothing out of it, which is probably really bad. He gets no XP, he gets no gold. It goes to the Clockwork instead. And the Clock gives the bat a refill, which is rough. Ench, little too deep, gets caught up. Nice use of the Tidebringer. Obviously, you get more damage on the cleaved units than the units you hit. Meanwhile, up top, it looks like there's just so much pressure. Pull, single pull happens. Doesn't really go so well. Gets contested. Now, Spectre getting dived in the tower. How many? 3 points in Scorched Earth and a stun creep. Just a lot of just general damage, and Doom regens so fast he doesn't really mind. Earth Spirit now making the rotation. Is level 5, so has a lot of damage in the Rock Smash. But Enchantress is also here with a creep. And Darkseer is back. Darkseer and Earth Spirit could be a reasonably solid combo. I could see that working. Roll forward, slow onto the Doom. But a stun holds them up. Hasted Earth Spirit, and the Clock is there with it. Roll up in 1 second, manages to connect, and he will fall. Can they find any more off the back of that? Just a Doom isn't really enough for such a big rotation, even if they are securing the Spectre's farm. Spectre is low and is getting harassed down by the supports. Might actually go down here if not interrupted. Roll doesn't quite connect, didn't commit a remnant for it. Spectre does manage to get away, but Clockwork is enchanted and is getting wailed on. Might go down. Looks like he'll just about get away thanks to a quick kick from the Earth Spirit. But Doom is back now, and Spectre isn't really in any sort of position to play the map. He's going to have to look for a rotation towards a different lane. Definitely can't sit in this lane, there's just too much pressure. Earth Spirit almost goes down, but has the roll to get away, but it's completely dry on resources. However, Kunkka lands his combo onto the Batrider, but Batrider manages to get Lasso and Flame Break off. Dodging over will bring the Kunkka down with a few stacks of Sticky Napalm, and looks forward for the Darkseer. So much damage comes out of this with 4 levels in Sticky already. That's 25 extra damage per stack per tick. And onto a low-level position 5, even if it is someone who is a little more tanky like a Darkseer, it's just going to bring him down instantly. Very, very strong, but Earth Spirit comes in, refreshed, and with the Clockwork there, they will kill him off. And on good timing as well. If he picked up that regen ring, it would have been quite dangerous. Bat really popping off this game. Let's have a look at the net worth. We will see the 3 Radiant cores are at the top, almost neck and neck, not even 100 gold in it. Earth Spirit being given the XP. Now play now is moving into this sort of almost 4-position style where he's roaming around, but he has a bit more farm and a bit more levels because he was coring the lane, and so can do it a lot more efficiently. But it doesn't look like he's really able to get too much done. Still curious about this Darkseer. What does he have on Courier? Just more regen and wards. Well, either way, Spectre is finally getting some free farm. And while the supports seem to be playing around bottom with the Void, who is having even more free farm, has his Midas complete now. What build is the Spectre going? Will also be going Midas, and so he's just straight up behind the Void. I'm just panning the camera around aimlessly at the moment. Not very high production quality on my end. My apologies. And a lot of sort of just chilling around mid for heroes at the moment. This Batrider is sort of too dangerous to be left alone. He finds the Kunkka again. Good God, if he only 3 stacks of sticky that time, and it just does so much damage. I've definitely got to try playing this hero myself. Sure, I can't last hit for love nor money on Batrider, but it seems fun either way. They do kill the Doom up top with the rotation of the Earth Spirit, and Doom is used on the Earth Spirit, so it's no longer a threat. They move forward for the runes and they manage to catch the Rubik. Dagger on to the Rubik, and they will bring him down. Can they get anything out of the Batrider? Looks like Earth Spirit will get away on a sliver of health. Was caught in the Firefly for a little too long, and Darkseer will be dying. Spectre throws the dagger to try and duck away into the trees, but the Chronosphere is there. Flame Break, a lot of damage, and they will bring down the Spectre once again. I mean, I hate to be a pessimist, but I'm already seeing the way this cookie is crumbling. And it doesn't seem to be a too high quality a cookie, as it's crumbling pretty quickly. Or maybe better cookies do that. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert. A little bit of a pause. DC on the clockwork. That would be why. Who knows what he's doing? Maybe having a little cry in the corner before mustering his spirits and coming back. Either way, it's going to be very... I don't see a very clean way of Dire coming back into this one. In terms of the Spectre is very much their win condition, but Spectre will take so long to come online and needs to be able to tank through a lot of damage, because Chrono will be used to kill the Spectre. And I mean, Chrono is a good setup for Doom. Chrono is a good setup for the damage of the supports, which can both be done but ranged. Batrider, you could definitely Chrono around it if you Chrono them on top of a Firefly, or just let him chuck a few stickies and then throw a Flame Break. Or there's a lot of ways. It doesn't combo as well, but even then, there's a lot of damage that can just be thrown onto the Spectre. In terms of Chronosphere, and Faceless is a very good late game carry at the moment. One of the best carries in the game, in fact. They are still hunting down the Doom, however. He manages to slip away to his tier 1 tower, and that is safety. Earth Spirit having to play around the Spectre, as without somebody always being sort of there, Spectre will just die over and over again. Just hunted down is basically a free kill, has nothing, frankly. Literally nothing. It's 12 minutes in, and she doesn't even have a Midas. It's pretty dire. Pretty rough. Still looking for... What was that item dropped? Did he manage to pick it up? Who knows? There was a ring of protection there briefly. I wonder what happened to it. Either way. Boats coming in. Looks like 2, so Rubik stole one of them. And a Doom onto the Darkseer seems like a bit of a waste. Doesn't do anything. Haunt in, but won't actually amount to anything. They commit the Magnetize onto the Doom. Doom already used, but own Earth Spirit merely just goes down as a result. Now they will find this mid tower.
Is Dire going to let that middle tower fall?
Batrider just playing extremely deep, no fear at all. Does use the Firefly, meaning all of a sudden it's possible he dies. Haste from the Kunkka gets him out of a bit of a sticky situation. Ha 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 ha.
Is Dire going to let that middle tower fall?
Yeah, this is rough. I just said I just stuttered and started using and ah. That's really rough. But what's also rough is the game at hand. Darkseer looks like he might be dead again, but does have haste up. Has vacuum as well. Doesn't want to use it as somebody's in the cogs. A Spirit trying to get on top of Batrider, but gets chronoed onto the Firefly, and that really is just a death sentence. And that's a double kill. Void does get X'd and is found by the boat. It doesn't really do anything with no follow-up damage. The Kunkka combo isn't enough to really do damage at this point in the game, as Kunkka is quite behind. Boat only doing 400 damage, which, I mean, it's a lot, but also Void's pretty tanky at this point. Almost as tanky as Kunkka himself, which you don't really want to see, as Kunkka is pretty tank. Pretty tank and spank as it is. What I was about to say, that was nice. They found the Batrider, who was a bit too deep, but Spectre dies.
Is Dire going to let that middle tower fall?
Even though she gets a very high value kill, she's dead for 30 seconds. And loses a lot of gold off the back of it. But hey, at least the Midas is on cooldown. So, you know, that's a little bit of efficiency for you. If you die when your Midas is on cooldown, you can claim you're being efficient. Because if you die when it's off cooldown, then that's bad. Kunkka dies to a smoke. Stolen boat, just to add insult to injury. Oof, frankly. I don't see any possibility for the Dire to get back into this game without a huge amount of either brilliant play on their part or very poor play on the side of the Radiant. Hawkhook almost finds the Enchantress, but healing sprites, Nature's Attendants, are enough to bring her back up to full and keep her alive, and he will die in the meantime as Darkseer falls on the backline. Really not sold on the support Darkseer. I don't even see the logic behind trying it, frankly. So maybe I could see the logic if you were trying to play some strange Clinks combo where you use the level 15 talent to give him way more damage on a eat and creep or something strange, but even then you wouldn't play it as a 5. I don't see the logic. Iron Shell's nice. I don't think that's enough to justify him being the 5 role. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing, but it does seem to have sort of just thrown Spectre's lane. And that's not what you want. I feel like this is a level where experimentation is punished. Batrider manages to jump Spectre, grab the lasso, and Chrono is used solely on Spectre, who will fall. Almost finds the Void at the same time. Hookshot onto the Void. Maybe they can kill him. Time Walk is off cooldown, but finally comes up. And he manages to get away once again with Batrider ducking in and out of the trees, just trying to kill as many as possible. Gets stunned up, but a little bit more damage from the Rubik will bring him down. Yules, but doesn't manage to dodge it all out. Clock found on the backline. Flame Break into Cogs. And it's a team wipe. 18k net worth lead. Void is doubling up the Spectre. I have no idea how the Dire could have ever got back into this game. The lanes just went so horribly. Very commanding performance by the Batrider and the Doom. Void just sort of got to sit there and farm. And I don't know. They needed Spectre and Kunkka. They needed 2 cores on this team to do something. You know, one to win their lane and one to do well-ish. or at least 2 to go alright. Earth Spirit got something out the lane, but then spent most of his time trying to sort out the other lanes, and so sort of didn't get anything more himself. As we can see, both of them are incredibly poor. And one of them should have just farmed, and neither of them did. There's finally a commitment forward. Batrider is brought down by a massive commitment, but a fat Doom will pop his BKB and just go at the other team. But it looks like he might just die here. Roll doesn't connect. Doom is taunted. Magnetised, committed. Kicked. Just generally wailed on by the whole team, but it looks like Kunkka might actually go down at the end of this to the Rubik. Is sticking out to the Infernal Blade, but won't quite die yet. Has to be careful not to step into range of a Fade Bolt. That was a fight without the Void, however. Good fight, found to the cause. It was big. Huge gold swing. Not as big as I might have expected, granted, but signs of life. And that I suppose is how they have to come back into this game. They have to divide and conquer. Split up the strength of the enemy, and then try and defeat. Try and defeat it. Defeat in detail, I think, is the correct notion. But it looks like Spectre might just get caught. Chrono goes down. Clockwork attempts to TP in, but it's too little, too late. Void does a huge amount of damage and managed to just step away. It looks like they may have just TP'd into their death. Spirit trying to roll away. Clockwork hookshotting out of danger might actually be enough. Spirit no longer able to get away. Will have his roll block up if he goes for it and will be brought down. Surprisingly, it's the Clockwork that gets out of that situation. Could have sworn it would have been the other way round. It is very depressing. I thought this Earth Spirit was the 3 position, but it turns out he's not. Everyone is very poor. Everyone is very poor.
Bid farewell to Dire's top tower.
I'm not entirely thinking about it. What were their options as Darkseer dies? Unsurprisingly, Batrider playing very well this game. Mastery. It's Mastery. Don't know who he is, but he's on Empire. Okay, please stop Doom. I don't need the new Dr. Doom beats. But I mean, I guess he's having fun. So at least somebody is in this game, because the Dire certainly aren't. What could they have done this game? Possibly earlier rotations towards the mid. Maybe having the Esper on the 4 position to do that would have been nice. Not having a more conventional position 5 who could have committed to the wave. Enchantress somehow escaping this because Nature's Attendance is quite a funny skill, and she has a haste rune. So despite quite a commitment forward, I need to stop saying that. I need to vary up what I'm saying. Despite the Dire really going all in, betting quite highly on that kill, they get no return. They lose their hand. But they might manage to find the Batrider as a consolation prize. He is X, dodges it with the Yules. They lose Roche in the meantime as he tries to escape into the trees with Firefly. Chasing a Batrider is a terrible idea, and it looks like he might just get away, especially as Void has now joined the fight with the rest of the team. Has Chronosphere on cooldown, so doesn't have Chronosphere. Kunkka goes for a very brave TP out, doesn't quite find it. As the Bashi stops him. It will be almost a team wipe, with only Spectre escaping. Spectre having finally... That's not what I wanted. There we go. Completed up Midas and Drum. I'm very proud. It's an unfortunate game. I think really the biggest problem was mid. Mid was lost relatively heavily, giving the Batrider pretty just do whatever you want sort of game, and then he did whatever he wanted. He went around and killed people. And as soon as you do that, your Kunkka sort of got absolutely crushed. Can't play, this cannot be a mid-game space maker. Your Spectre's already behind and needs space to be made, and you have no one who can make space. So you've got to prey on some very good team fights that and team fighting into Chronosphere and Doom and Lasso is not what you want to do.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Come on.
So in reality, what you want to do is pick off, but you can't really pick off as 2 or 3 in this game because you're so far behind. So you have to 4 or 5 man gank, and it's horrible.
Radiant's
They're just
top
looking
tower is
for
under
the
attack.
end.
Dire's middle tower
Certainly,
is
I think it really could have helped out if Spectre had a
Let that middle
much
tower fall.
stronger lane and been able to accelerate
Others
faster,
look too scared.
and so
Radiant's top tower
be
up.
more of a presence in these mid-game team fights.
Dominating. Own it.
And if you have that one source of damage, maybe you can snag a few kills here and there and just sort of scrape your way into the game, be enough of a threat to stall it out. Take at least one tower, maybe they'll get this one. They did get a tower! Incredible, incredible scenes here. Dire really feeling good now.
Own it.
But as it is, they do manage to break the Aegis with some
Well, this is what Dire's aim
aggressive memes.
for. Dire's
And a
top
Fountain
is
Dive.
under
In fact, a hookshot bird, a Ghost Scepter.
Dire's
Did he actually buy the Ghost Scepter just then? He must have. He must have bought the Ghost Scepter just then. Quick thinking from the Void and quick shop work, because I don't know where the Ghost Scepter is. Yeah, that was a stomp. Not much more you can say about it, unfortunately.